Okay. What's up, everybody? So I had sat there and thought, as I always do, trying to figure out what to do for the next podcast topic, if you will, and ran into something to where I saw a TikTok that said, "Who's the more powerful wizard, Gandalf, Elminster, or Dumbledore?" And I was like, "Who the hell's Elminster?" And I just got blown up. Like, I can't fucking believe you don't know who this is. This is just ridiculous. You need to go read some derpa 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 derpa. And it had me thinking that why is it that rabid fans will always find a way to shame you for knowledge they possess that you don't know and you should? And it's pretty much exactly what I responded to. I was like, yes, here's that fandom that comes out that wants to know what is wrong with you. How come you don't know the things that I know? You should go and do these things. And it reminded me that there were times where I was going on dates with girls and I just asked them, like, what kind of music do you like? What kind of movies do you like? What kind of books do you read? Shit like that. Just getting some information. And one time had come across one of the girls, a few of them actually, and they're like, "I've never seen Star Wars. Don't yell at me." And I'm going, "Why would I yell at you?" She goes, "You can't believe how many guys like I can't believe you never went and saw Star Wars." I'm going, I mean, that's like saying, I never watched Twilight, and you just go, "I can't fucking believe you haven't watched glitter vampire stories." And I'm going, if it's not something you're into, it's not something you're into. I'm not going to condemn you for it. And they would, and I think it's an equal sign of immaturity and lack of respect to others. And it's just like I've said, if I date someone and if they tell me that they hate comic books, like, we ain't gonna work. And that's exactly how that would be. It's like we wouldn't work. But what do you mean? It's like, well, comic books are, a big hobby of mine. And if you're just flat out against them, we will not work. It's just not going to happen. Um, but that's just how that goes. Like, had some friends that went over to their house pretty much every single Sunday, and every single Sunday it was, let's have lunch and we'll hang out, we'll conversate, we'll have games that we play and shit like that. And it was a grand time. I loved it. And it almost seemed like after a little bit, something slowly started to churn in all of their heads. And that was, let's get Mike with my sister. And they went, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I think they would get along great." And I'm going, I don't do too well with the whole let's set someone up thing. It never works. So, but all right, let's just keep expectations low, and off we go. It was the day after Thanksgiving, and I was told come over, so I did, or maybe it was late Thanksgiving night, one of the two. And I walked through the door, and I was just like, "Hey, what's up?" And I saw the look on her face, and she looked pissed. Like she was going from to. And she just started looking around the room, just like shooting daggers at people. And everybody else was so excited. And I went, well, not off to the greatest of starts, but we'll see how this goes. And she was okay. Not necessarily my type, but I was like, I'll stick around and we'll conversate and see what happens. So we all go outside, and it was a little chilly that night. But I was there in a pair of tennis shoes, a hoodie, and some track pants. I was like, it was either so late in the day of Thanksgiving, I'm not going to worry about trying to dress up, or it was the next day and it's just another day. I couldn't care less. And we're all sitting around the fire. She has a 12 pack of PBR sitting next to her. If you don't know what PBR is, it's Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's like basically an old person beer. My grandparents and my uncle drank the shit out of PBRs. But like she's just knocking them back, and I'm just stoking the fire, going, you put a fire in front of me, I'm a happy camper. I'm a firebug. I always have been. I like fire. And slowly people are leaving the backyard. Like, oh, it's too cold, I'm gonna go inside. Oh, it's too cold, I'm gonna go inside. And I was kind of going, there's a fire here. If you're cold, turn around for a little bit. That's how that's supposed to go. Like, the heat is right here. You are leaving the heat. And it dawned on me that they're trying to give us alone time. And so then she started probing me. What do you do? What are your ambitions? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. You got a 12 pack of PBR cans next to you, and you want to know what my life ambitions are? I was like, I don't know. That's why I'm going to college to figure that shit out. So, well, what do you do for hobbies? I was like, all kinds of stuff. You know, I play games, board, table, and video, read, play music, listen to music, watch movies, hang out with friends, shit like that. Like I do pretty much anything as long as it entertains me. And at some point during that night, I guess she had gotten a little deep into her liquid courage to where she goes off on me and called me a loser because I was there in track pants and a hoodie and I wasn't drinking with her, and because I play video games, so I wasn't going to amount to anything. I was like, well, I wasn't really interested before, but now it's cemented. And I hung out for a little bit longer just because there was the fire there and I was content with the fire, and then eventually just left. Couple weeks go by, and next thing I know, there's some type of conversation going on Facebook between me, her, and her niece. And it eventually says, you guys need to take this to direct messages. And I'm going, whatever. Well, she sends me one. I'm going, what? So we're chatting back and forth. And next thing I know, it was just conversation back and forth. And for me, conversation's conversation. If you talk to me, let's just talk. As long as you're not being, an ass, then it's whatever. So she shares things with me. I'm not going to say on here because it's a bunch of personal stuff, but there was some poking jabs, just friendly flirting. And then next thing I know, she sends me a message saying, I could see us having kids together. I was like, what in the fuck? It's like, are you serious? What the hell's wrong with you? She goes, what do you mean? I said, the day you met me, you lambasted the shit out of me and just told me, you tore up my look. You tore up my outlook on everything. You tore up my everything. What the fuck makes you think I'm even interested in you? There was like some serious backpedaling, and there was a whole lot of, I think it was the beer. I'm going, no, that was your true damn feelings. You know the old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Well, there you go. You made a terrible first impression. You just really didn't have any interest in me. And you were perfectly content just going off on me. So deuces. It got to the point to where she told her mom, and her mom called me and said, please give her another chance. That's not how she is. I was like, what in the fuck is happening? And I was just going, no, she's not that attractive. And that attitude just made it even worse. So nope, I'll stick to good old reliable here. And the point of all that is that the things that I enjoyed, she just tore it apart. Literally called me a loser to my face. And I know people use the word literally a lot, but she called me a loser for playing video games. She's like, oh, you're one of those video game playing losers. All right. Well, Let's go ahead and close that probability door, lock that bitch, and paint friend zone forever on it. Because that's where it was for me. I'm going, nope. And I even told her, I said, I can forgive what you said, but I will never forget. And it would always be in the back of my head that there's going to be something down the line that you are going to not like and just throw in my face like you just fucking did. So, no, 100%, no second chance. Deuces. Shortly after that, I hardly ever heard from those friends again. And that was a long time ago. And it just goes back to we have this imprint of everything we know in our heads, and we expect people to have that same imprint. Like my best friend, complete logical math genius. I don't know how the fuck he knows half the shit he knows. I don't know. But there have been plenty of times where I'll go, oh yeah, it's just like this and this and this. He goes, nope, nope. And so he has his area of expertise. I have my area of expertise, but I don't look down at him for his area, and he doesn't look down at me for mine. There was one time I remember he asked me to send him a picture of my comic book collection because apparently that came up on a topic with one of his work colleagues. And he goes, bullshit. And he goes, send me a picture. I need proof. I need you to help me win a fight. Done, bruh. Here you go. He just goes, ha ha ha, thank you. And it was, the dude's response, holy shit, you weren't kidding. Why would that be something I would joke about? And I think a lot of the anonymity of being able to do shit online gives people a few degrees of separation. Well, that's just my online persona. That's just how I am online. That's not a reflection of me. Bullshit. That's just you blowing smoke up someone's ass to try and get out of trouble because you got caught. And I fully am aware and fully expect that there are times that I'm going to say something that's going to piss some people off. I'm not doing it to piss people off. I'm just being my authentic, genuine self. I'm just giving forth exactly what is in my head. There's a couple of topics I'd love to talk about, but I'm scared to do so because I don't know if I could handle some of the backlash if it goes outside of anything that I've already done and people that view any of these videos goes. Nothing malicious, just things that I don't understand. And I'm just going to leave it just there. And there may eventually come a time where I'm going to go, fuck it. I got a week left to live. Let's just put it out there. But anyway, even whenever I have my doctor's appointment every other Wednesday, in fact, this past Wednesday, topic came up of judging, and I had said that I feel judged for the things that I enjoy. And she was immediately defensive and asking if I think that she's judging. I said, no, maybe a small amount, to be 100% honest, because that's how I think it always goes. Because for the most part, that's how it always goes. But like today, I went to go get dinner. Hang on. And I had this in my car. And if I'd have thought this was going to come up, I'd have already had it in place. But I just was like, I don't care. Hold on. So this thing still looks dumb as hell. But I will tell you what, this thing is incredible. I saw this and just was like, this looks dumb as shit. But I will tell you, when the snow's on the ground and you've got this on, and you've already got your tinted, because these are tinted. You've got your tinted sunglass lenses, and the top part is actually extra insulated. Like from here, I don't know if you could see, like from here down is a single layer, and from here up is all insulated. So it's all designed to keep your entire freaking head and neck warm. And I bought it because it it reminded me of uh the first Spider-Man uh costume where he had um his mask and everything. But I drove on the road and went through the drive-through, had it on during the drive-through, and I noticed that the girl that handed me the drink didn't hand me the order. I have to imagine she probably went and laughed about it. It was like, look at this idiot. I'm going, I don't care. I didn't care. And there's going to reach a certain point in your life to where you're going to have that exact same mentality, to where you're going to stop worrying about what other people think and you're just going to enjoy yourself. And that's literally what all that was. And the same thing that it comes with, like my comic books and stuff. There still is a part of me that was just kind of go, don't really want people to know that I have over 15,000, but it's whatever. It's whatever. But in my circle of friends, oh yeah, they all know. I'll tell them. And I will adamantly hold back from time to time, all the time, of talking about it, because I'm going, there's not many of you that share the same passion for it that I do, so I'm not going to worry about talking about it. So we'll just move the hell on. Just like with a lot of other things. And I found myself, after seeing a lot of that gatekeeping of, I can't believe that you were gonna say this about this and you don't know. Okay, Elminster, Forgotten Realms. All right, I read mostly Dragonlance. The only Forgotten Realms I read was along the Drist line, and now that it's brought up to me, I'm like, I kind of remember it, but it didn't automatically click into my head. But there was so many people that were just pissed, and I'm just going, yeah, keep just your rabid fandom going. I'm sure that's really going to help out future arguments, instead of just, going, oh, dude, it's this person. He's really awesome. If you want to get some good books about it, here's some good books about it. But for the most part, I was just torn apart because I didn't know who Elminster was. Sorry. Dumbledore and Gandalf have been through pop culture to establish themselves as a household name. I mean, shit, 15 years ago, half the people didn't even know who the hell Iron Man was. Now try and tell me someone who doesn't. I mean, it's all dependent on how in your face it becomes, because a lot of the D&D things that go on are from Critical Role, and Matt Mercer has created his own world that doesn't really fall into play with any of the other things, but he'll pull some other things in, like the planes of existence, I believe, are all there and shit. So like he uses the same setup elements that a lot of DMs, myself included, use. Of we'll use these parts, but it's not going to be for this car. We're going to make our own little concoction to run around with. And I think if you really want to try to expand and have other people enjoy the hobbies that you enjoy, always kind of put in the back of your head of what's a good jump off point. Where's a good spot for them to start. When I tell people that I do comic books, and they're like, ooh, what do you like? I'm like, I like all kinds of stuff. What do you like? Because I promise you, I can find something you would enjoy. Shit, I got Two of them sitting next to me right now. The Last Ronin and Invincible. I reread Invincible last year. It's my second time through, and I bought it in the 3 omnibus. I think I paid $25 a piece for it, and they're normally like 50 or something. Yep. And there seems to be enough of us out there that have a welcome mat out. I like to kind of picture it's kind of like Ron Swanson's desk where he's in the donut and he's just on swiveling around. We have all these welcome mats, and rather than avoiding the lady who's going around, she's trying to go around to the other side of the table and go, I want to talk about this. And then you kind of lean forward and go, yeah, let's talk about it. What do you want to talk about? And there's just far too many to where it's almost like it's a rallying cry of, we got to stop these people from going off on the things we like, and we got to put them in their place. Why? They're not allowed an opinion. That's like saying I'm going to go off on someone for what they're wearing. That's what they like. That's what they like. Fuck off. Leave them alone. I don't necessarily agree with women gluing spider legs to their eyes, but if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I don't find it anywhere near attractive at all, but if that's what they want to do, go ahead. I don't understand why every 3 weeks you have to glue new plastic to the ends of your fingertips. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. I don't understand it. I don't like it, but I'm not going to sit there and just bash someone for the things that they like. Now, unless they're like, I need you to pay for this. I'm like, the fuck I will. Nah, who do you think you are? Nope. That's okay, I'll tell you what. I'll pay for your nails, you pay for my comic books. How's that? That work? Done. I'll pay for your hobby, you pay for mine. Because that would be absurd to have someone go and choose to pay for my hobby, or telling someone they had to pay for my hobby that started before I even knew they existed. No, I don't think so. Which kind of goes back to what I had originally said I wanted this series to be about, is really kind of pushing the envelope of things to think about, things to consider, and to still be better to one another. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the world to where you are swayed one way or another, and either you think the same way that I do or you're damned. And that needs to go like 4 years ago. It doesn't need to be a thing at all, ever. Unless you're just spouting hate speech or just being a complete jackass for no reason. Just leave people alone. Why does there have to be a method of control? Or why does there have to be a method of shame or method of anything to where you're going, you know what? You're treading on some thin ice here. The more you keep going off on Chipotle, I'm like, well, Chipotle sucks. So does Qdoba. I'd rather have Taco Bell. I'm a simple dude. I don't need anything complex. And the more complex something is, the more I'm going, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need any of that. Thanks though. But you go do you, boo-boo. And I really wish that there would be more people that looked at things the same way and treated people the same way. It's like I've stated before, when I went to one of my favorite restaurants, if not my favorite restaurant in St. Louis, and we went there and I heard this guy just lambasting this waiter, and the guy had his back to where the waiter station was, but not to me. I saw him, and the dude just, you could tell he was taking like some deep cleansing breaths and to try and really just go, He's going to be gone soon. Just let this motherfucker go. It's not a big deal. And in the back of my head, I'm going, I got to say something. I was like, excuse me. And I could tell to begin with, his shoulders kind of dropped. He's like, oh, fuck. Now what? And I was like, hey, man, don't let that douchebag get to you. He needs you. You don't need him. That's why he's here having you feed him, because he doesn't want to do it himself. And sure, you're serving him the food, but he's needing you to give it to him. And some people just want to come in and shit on someone because they ain't got anything going off in their life anyway. So just, I know it's easier said than done, but I'm backing you up. My nephew here is backing you up. And don't let that douchebag know that he broke you and won, because then he wins twice. He's only going to win once, and that's whatever the manager gives him to appease him. Don't let him win twice and letting him know that he ruined your day and carry that with him too. And he goes, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I gave him $5. I said, you're not my waiter, but here. Just to give you a little reminder that there are decent people still in this world and not that prick. And that's something that I always stick to, is that when you go somewhere to eat, if they messed up your order, you could just calmly say, I'm sorry, but this is not what I ordered. It's the reason why when you go someplace and you order a steak, they'll go, could you please cut it open to ensure that it's done correctly? Because I've been at a dinner before, or maybe it was a lunch, might have been a late lunch. There were 17 of us at these tables, took up the whole side of the upper level of this restaurant. And my girlfriend at the time had an uncle. It used to be, she said, everyone's favorite uncle because he was so damn cool. He ate 98%. He had one bite of mashed potatoes left, had half a roll, and had maybe 3 bites left of steak. And he wanted to sit there and complain and basically didn't want to pay for his food. And I'm going, the fuck, what? You ate everything. Like, shush, shush, shush. Like, no, I'm not going to shush. Fuck him. If there was such a problem with it, why did you eat almost all of it? No, make him still pay for it. That's where we're at now. That was, shit, a little more than 20 years ago. Never seen him before, but I'm going, you don't get to finish all of your shit. Now, if you got to halfway and all of a sudden the steak was not the right temperature or something, okay, that's a little bit more believable because the center of the steak's got to be cooler than the edges. But you had almost all your mashed potatoes and everything else on your plate gone, man. Be like, well, sir, that's just tough shit. You ate almost all of it. You're going to pay for all of it because that's what the hell you ordered. And you didn't say anything until it was almost gone. So quit your goddamn crying, put your big boy pants on, retighten your pull-ups, and fuck off. I saw a video to where there was a guy, and I want to say it was a skip. The guy came in and had gotten a coffee and apparently came back in, I guess after he took a drink or two, and talked to the guy behind the counter. And he goes, did you put whole milk in this or oat milk? And the guy goes, whole milk. He goes, it should have had oat milk. He goes, did you say that when you ordered it? He goes, no. He goes, so then you got what you paid for. He goes, but I wanted oat milk. He goes, okay. And he rang him up for another one. And the dude who wanted oat milk started to lose his mind. He goes, I'm not paying for another one. He goes, you didn't say specifically what you wanted. And so you were given it in its default form. That's what you hold in your hand. If you wanted something different, you should have said something. Now you want the way you want it, so you're going to pay for that too. I'm not going to replace this because that's a loss of money on my part because you didn't have the right amount of adulting to go through to order it and speak exactly what you wanted. So no, that'll be like $5.13 or some shit like that. And the dude was throwing a fit and I'm going, nope, 100% right. You didn't specify. Gone. Gone. You're done. Bye. Go on. See ya. It's incredible that there is this entitlement epidemic that just wafts over people the moment they wake up of someone must sing my praises today. I must be able to have my way. Even if I'm wrong, they must tell me I'm right. And if you ever throw that bullshit line of the customer's always right around me, I'm going to go, you only got half of it, of that sentence. So if you're going to use that phrase, use the whole phrase. Because the phrase is the customer's always right in matters of taste. Not just the customer's always right, period. That is not how that phrase was created. It was butchered to serve people. Because here's the thing. Everyone's a customer. Everyone. And everyone can't be right. It's not how it works. Sorry, pumpkin, but that's not how it works. You can't sit there and go, well, I want it my way. Then go to Burger King. Because that's where you can have it your way. That's literally their fucking motto. Go on now. And if something was done in error, sure. But it depends on who the error was on. If you go to a restaurant and the restaurant errs, then yes, you are owed to make up the difference for how it was ordered. If you erred, suck it up. Live and learn. Do it next time. I remember when I think it was McDonald's was the first one that had combo meals. So they would say, now you just say 1, 4, 7, and that's your order. Well, I can remember before that was a thing, I was and still am a shy person. Yes, I am. Anyway, it got to the points where when we went inside to order, and I was with my mom, and walk up to the counter, or there was one person ahead of us. She goes, do you know what you want to eat? Like, yeah, I want a, McNugget Happy Meal. She goes, okay, tell him. No. She goes, well, if you don't tell him, you're not eating. So either you tell them and you can eat, or you don't tell them and you don't eat. Those are your choices. And it was little old me just, can I please get a McNugget Happy Meal? What kind of drink would you like? Can I get an orange, please? I still had manners, but I did not like talking to strangers. Now, hey, how's it going? How's your day? What have you been up to? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of your day and be safe when you go home. Every time, without fail. Just like I've said numerous times in all of the jobs that I've had, everybody that walks through that door is someone's dad, uncle, grandpa, brother, sister, aunt, grandma, mom, wife, husband, whatever. And they have shit going on in their life, and they're coming to you with a problem, and you need to have the solution. And if you're going to treat them worse than when someone treats your mom or relative or whatever person on the list I just gave was, and extended down the line, wouldn't you be upset? So don't treat them that way. Literally how that goes. And if anything from this video, just take, we're all in this together, and soon our time too will pass and we won't be here anymore. What's your legacy going to be? You gonna be one of those assholes that people sit there and tells a story about being an asshole? Or you're going to be one of those people that sits there and does something nice, and you're going to be a story that a stranger tells about how you had helped them out or at least treated them with some modicum amount of dignity. Choice is 100% up to yours, up to you, because it is your choice. You can't control what someone else thinks or does, but you can control your reaction to it. There's a lot of messed up shit going on. We don't need to add to it. So if someone enjoys something, like some goofy-ass hat, let them enjoy that goofy-ass hat. Shit, if I saw someone else wearing that hat, like, oh my God, I got one of those too. High five. There was a lady at the grocery store the other day that I saw wearing a Battlehawks hoodie. I was like, go Battlehawks. That dismissive smile? Really? You could have just and moved on. But it was that dismissive, grumpy old asshole. That one called for. Bringing attention to something that you like, that you're sporting. And there's another one that's walking around that's like, caca, mofo. And you're just, shitty fan. Looking at you, Nashville and LA. Bat fans. Excuse me. To this day, if I ever watch hockey highlights that has the Kings, the Predators, or the Blackhawks at home, and the home team scores, I instantaneously mute my sound. Because I don't want to hear that toxic fandom. Hey, you suck. I'm going, what kills me is you guys will be losing 5-0. Score your first goal and still chant that shit. What? That's as bad, I think, as the guys in the football field going, I did a tackle. It's your job. I have way more respect for players that just hand the ball to the ref and off they go. Or they get up, they get a couple of helmet pats from someone and off they go. Like, that's a good player. Keep that player. Everybody else, first down. Fuck off. Go do your goddamn job. You play 16 times in a year. And and most of you probably lose those games. And if you're losing and you score a touchdown, don't do your celebration. Get your ass back over to the sideline. We ain't winning. You can't celebrate. Just be like, yeah, and move on. Just be happy that we got points on the board. Move your ass. Oh, I'd be a hard-nosed coach on that shit. But no, I'm gonna have a team of humble players. Block a field goal? Sure. Block a punt? Sure. Those are a lot harder than I made a tackle. Well, coach, I did the tackling. Grow up. You have multi-million dollars. I did a tackle. No one cares. Shut up. And that's not me being a toxic fan. Because for the most part, I can't stand fucking football anymore. Because pretty much the highlights that you catch on YouTube encompass the entire game anyway. So, don't care. All right, before I get too much in a tangent on other things, bottom line, just be proud of the shit that you enjoy, and if someone expresses interest, they'll be like, oh my god, like I did. Going, you're gonna have a lot of shit to read, just so you know. So guys, take care of yourself. If you're out here in St. Louis, it's still supposed to be cold as hell until Thursday. So take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Stay safe.